Welcome back to the Quiet Maverick. I'm glad you're here. Wherever this episode finds you today, I hope that you can take a breath. Slow down for a moment and simply arrive. I've been reflecting on something recently. A few months ago, I was just trying to publish a single episode. That's it. Record a conversation. Learn how podcasting works. Figure out the technology. Press publish. Do it again next week. That was the assignment. Or at least, that's what I thought the assignment was. But recently, I found myself refining the structure of the Quiet Maverick ecosystem. Not merely recording an episode or writing a script, not designing artwork, refining the difference between the Quiet Maverick and Quiet Maverick Origins, trying to understand what belongs where, trying to create enough structure for the signal to remain clear while the work grows. And it suddenly struck me. The Quiet Maverick is teaching me things I didn't know when I started. The more I thought about it, the more I realized this isn't unique to podcasting. It's true of almost everything we build. A business teaches the owner. A marriage teaches the husband and wife. A garden teaches the gardener. A responsibility teaches the person carrying it. A discipline teaches the practitioner. We often think we're building something, and we are. But over time, the thing we're building starts shaping us in return. And that's what I've been paying attention to. The relationship eventually becomes mutual. At first, we bring structure to a thing. Then, the thing begins revealing where our structure is insufficient. At first, we manage responsibility. Then, the responsibility begins teaching us how to manage ourselves. At first, we think we're leading. Then we discover we're learning. And I think that's why stewardship means so much. Because stewardship requires attention. And attention allows us to learn from what we're carrying. The challenge is that many people only think about what they're producing, not what they're becoming. We ask, How is the project going? How is the business doing? How is the training proceeding? How is the plan unfolding? But there's one question that interests me more. What is this teaching me? Because if we're paying attention, sitting in the tension long enough, the answer we find out is usually something valuable. Sometimes it's teaching patience, sometimes humility, sometimes discipline, sometimes boundaries, sometimes responsibility, sometimes trust. You know, one of the themes running through this episode is craftsmanship. The idea that when we commit ourselves to building something with care, the process begins shaping us in return. That's one of the reasons Afuera Coffee Company feels like such a natural partner with the Quiet Maverick. Their approach reflects a belief that I come back to very often. That simple things, done intentionally, have a way of teaching us something deeper. Thoughtful sourcing, intentional preparation, attention to quality. Those aren't just coffee principles. They're stewardship principles. The same values that help us build meaningful work, meaningful relationships, meaningful lives. Afuera Coffee sources premium beans from certified Rainforest Alliance farms throughout Central and South America, creating rich, smooth, aromatic coffee while supporting sustainable farming practices. If you'd like to experience their coffee for yourself, visit afueracoffee.com and use our promo code SIGNAL8 for an exclusive 15% off any product. And thank you, Afuera Coffee Company, for supporting conversations like this one. I've come to realize that growth rarely happens the way we expect. We think growth means getting bigger, getting better, getting more. But sometimes growth means becoming more attentive, more aware, more teachable. Sometimes growth means recognizing that what you're building isn't simply output. It's a relationship. And every healthy relationship changes both sides. It's true of leadership. It's true of faith. It's true of stewardship. It's true of service. And it's true of the things we commit ourselves to over an extended period of time. The work shapes the worker. The responsibility shapes the responsible. The practice shapes the practitioner. And perhaps that's one of the hidden gifts of commitment. Not merely what gets built, but who we become while building it. The Quiet Maverick challenge for this week is simple. Take 10 quiet minutes and reflect on something you've been building, carrying, or stewarding. It could be a relationship, a responsibility, a discipline, a business, a goal, a family, a practice. Then ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Not, what am I accomplishing? Not what you're producing. What you're learning. Sit with the answer. You may just discover that the thing you've been building has been shaping you all along. This is the Quiet Maverick. I'm Gregory Michael. Thank you for spending a few moments with me today. I don't take your attention lightly, because where you place your attention is where your life begins to move. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to connect. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at It's Gregory Michael. You can also find full episodes and additional content on YouTube at The Quiet Maverick. If someone came to mind while listening, consider sharing this episode with them. That's how we keep the signal moving. Until next time, pay attention to what is shaping you. The lesson may already be in your hands. Carry it well.